Wonder Woman is one of the greatest superheroes to grace the page and the screen. This is a Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame hero right here. I've always thought Wonder Woman was cool, but I never really truly got her. Like, it was always hard for me to differentiate her from the rest of the Trinity personality-wise and motive-wise, and I think that's because we just need more adaptations of the character. I grew up with the classic DC animated universe, and she was a straight demon in those series. This version of the character is still Hall of Fame to me, but turns out it's not all that accurate, like, at all. But her abilities are cool, the mascara is beautiful, and she is consistently the heart of every team she's on. I'm excited to see what she ends up being like in the DCU, but there's one version of the character that has truly shown me the light. Absolute Wonder Woman may be the most goated version of the character. Diana of the Wild Isles, stand up! It's kind of ironic that the version of Wonder Woman that truly made me get it was the one that looks and feels the least like her at first glance. Absolute Wonder Woman, and really the absolute universe as a whole, takes these characters down to the teeniest, tiniest core of who they are as people, and then changes damn near everything else, which I personally think is cool as hell and mad creative. This universe got me back into comics. I love it. Instead of being raised on Themyscira with the Amazons, Diana grew up in the Wild Isle, aka the Underworld, aka Hell, being raised by Cersei of all people. This is like if Doc Ock raised or mentored Peter Parker in an alternate universe, dog. That's insane. Oh, wait. This version of Diana uses all type of crazy magic, has 3 different lassos instead of just one lasso of truth, rides a dark skeleton Pegasus, and has a Buster Sword too? She too goated! And look, all of that is fire, but at her core is such an amazing character. On top of all that cool shit. Look, on top of all that cool shit. The whole purpose of Wonder Woman is generally to be an ambassador of peace for the rest of the human world. And I kind of forget that with the way she be putting BTA on villains. I think that's one of the big things about Wonder Woman I misunderstood / kind of forgot about. Like, in my mind, she was the warrior one out of the Trinity who's willing to go further than Batman and Superman and do what's gotta be done. But that's like barely even half true. Like, yeah, she's a warrior, but she's also the living embodiment of compassion. Similar to Superman, she's willing to boom a villain, but only if she absolutely has to. Like, maybe she's more okay with it than the others, but I don't even know if that's even actually true. Wonder Woman's first, second, or third choice of action is never gonna be Swiss cheesing somebody. That's the final resort. Bro, she's even gonna try her hardest to spare demon creatures straight from hell if she can. She loves peace so much, and she's such an empathetic person that when she does have to make that call, it's the most infuriating, heartbreaking shit ever for her. And then Batman is just literally mentally incapable of killing. But with the way he be leaving criminals looking, it's not much of a difference. Like, there's a moment in Absolute Wonder Woman where Hades kind of forces Diana to have to kill a threat, and dog, she looks at Hades with the most I hate you eyes I've ever seen ever, dog. She does not take that moment lightly, bro. She said, may your next life be so much better than this. I'm sorry I have to do this, bro. And she looks at Hades like, dog, I will never forgive you for what you just made me do, bro. Like, bro, that moment made Wonder Woman's whole kill rule / no kill rule, it put it into perspective for me. I'm just knowing Hades is going to feel the most craziest wrath of Diana of the Wild Isle, bro. This is like if Kratos was like a peacekeeper. Well, I guess he kind of is a peacekeeper now. Like, she's low-key DC Kratos, but with a little more love and compassion. A lot more love and compassion. Like, even older Kratos was still kind of wilding out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I get to tweaking out. But Absolute Wonder Woman has this beaming sense of optimism and compassion with her everywhere she goes, and it makes reading this run genuinely feel so good. Like, she has this innocent thirst for life and adventure, which makes sense seeing as she spent like most of her life being raised in the underworld away from civilization. Cersei and like a bunch of demons were her only contact with life, and I guess a bunch of gods too. Shout out Persephone, shout out Prometheus, shout out a couple other gods that she came in contact with. But aside from them, Diana was not chatting it up, socializing with people. It's just so refreshing seeing Wonder Woman like this, and that probably means I just need to read more Wonder Woman comics. Before the Absolute Universe, I was very sick and tired of comics and how confusing they get, so I was really just like an adaptation warrior. But Wonder Woman has like not that many adaptations in comparison to every other hero at her level, so I didn't really understand her. I never got it until now. Absolute Wonder Woman, from what I understand, is like she's still very much Diana at her core. The biggest difference is just her powers and her origin. But like personality wise, this is Diana of Themyscira / Diana of the Wild Isle / Diana Prince. You feel me? That's so cool. Also, side note, I really hope Cersei don't become a villain in this run, because their mother-daughter relationship is actually so wholesome, it hurts. If they make her flip, it's gonna be the most heartbreaking shit ever, dog. Please don't do it. Also, the paneling in this run is the most beautiful shit I ever laid eyes upon. Oh my goodness. Every single page could be put on somebody's wall, dog. Are you looking at this? Absolute Wonder Woman has the most dynamic paneling I've ever seen, dude. But yeah, I love that Diana's the one to reach her hand out and try to connect with these other heroes in this universe, because it literally just makes sense. It seems like Absolute Batman is really only concerned with Gotham for real, and I don't know what Absolute Superman got going on. It feels right that the hero whose whole thing is this overwhelming sense of compassion is the one to get the band together here. But when it comes to visuals, this is easily the greatest, most cleanest, most sauciest Wonder Woman we've ever bore witness to. Black, red, and silver being her colors is fantastic. The tatted up arm is so tough too, and that's actually an arm made of straight magic because she sacrificed her original arm to get Steve Trevor out of hell. And the helmet plus fur variant is so elite too. Oh my goodness. I love that she got the double W's as her symbol here too. The eagle symbol is cool, but I think the two W's just work better as a signifier for who this character is as such a big iconic superhero. Like Daredevil having the two D's. Granted, I was literally today years old when I realized that whenever Wonder Woman has the eagle logo, the eagle still makes a W. It still makes two W's most of the time. How could I not realize that the wings on the eagle are in the shape of two W's? Look, all I saw was eagle. The eagle's not a bad look. It's just a little too patriotic for a country that has nothing to do with it. You feel me? Everything about this design is just so metal, dog. I love it. You look at this version of the character and you would expect her to move like Kratos, but she's just as kind and soft-hearted as any other version of Wonder Woman. Absolute Diana looks like she would act the way DCAU Diana does, but that subversion is what makes it so good. And look, shout out DCAU Wonder Woman, but that version of the character is very, very different from what I gather. I don't know if it's nostalgia for me, but like this version of the character is still great. In terms of like battle prowess, this is like top Wonder Woman's, bro. She was boxing everybody. Everybody was getting hands. Also, I love Absolute Diana's longer nose so much because it breaks the whole same face syndrome that can happen with comics sometimes. She genuinely has a very distinct face, and that does a lot for somebody who's very, very, very important to superheroes. Diana's powers in the Absolute Universe are way more interesting than mainline Wonder Woman's abilities too. The witch / magic emphasis in her arsenal makes her extremely different from the rest of the Trinity, which is really cool to me. Like each of them have such vastly different abilities now. It makes a lot of sense too, seeing as Cersei raised her in this universe, and she's always a super magic heavy character. And Cersei's honestly not a character I'm too familiar with, but her design is always fire. And also, I need to watch Creature Commandos soon because Cersei's a big character in that series, and I want to see what she's gonna be like in the DCU. Wonder Woman's gauntlets have always been some of the coolest parts about her moveset, and historically it's been adapted exquisitely. And honestly, Wonder Woman's gauntlets have always been so much cooler than her just having a shield and a sword. Look, the sword and shield is cool, but the gauntlets do everything the shield does, but cooler. I just don't think the sword and shield is that important to what Wonder Woman represents. From what I gather, look, I'm somebody who's just now getting into Wonder Woman for real. So what do I know? You feel me? What do I know? Her using the lasso is also such a good signifier of who she is as a hero. A lasso is meant to subdue, not kill. But Absolute Wonder Woman get 3 lassos of doom. The Nemesis lasso inflicts the same amount of pain as the sins of the target. The Sacrifice lasso transforms Diana into different beings and creatures, like this giant-sized Medusa, at the potential cost of her whole sense of self though. I like that using magic that powerful actually comes with a sacrifice in general though. Like the fact that she forever has one arm is so interesting. And I love how her magic arm fails her in certain situations that remind us of that. That's simply S tier writing. The Blade of Athena is also so hard, dog. I know Cloud Strife is crying tears of joy watching her go crazy with this. The fact that she keeps it in a magic pouch that's way bigger on the inside is so hard too. I'm already knowing the Doctor would also be very proud too. I need an animated adaptation of this Wonder Woman so bad, please. And high key, the whole universe too. Bro, she made her Blade of Athena giant as hell to box the Tetraside, dog. That's so clean. But I love how each member of the Trinity embodies hope in such a different way. For a pretty long time, I didn't really understand what made Diana all that different from Kal-El in terms of what they represent. But I think Superman is just a general hope, whereas Diana is compassion and empathy specifically. Superman being the most general form of hope makes sense because that's like the first superhero. He's just good in general, whereas Diana is like empathy and like she's specifically compassion. And then Batman is like hope disguised by fear or something. But you're not really supposed to look at Wonder Woman and Superman and experience fear at all. Like Diana only looks the way she does in this universe because she grew up in hell. I knew that grew up in hell is gonna look like this. She gonna look a little metal because she grew up in the wild isle of hell. Also in the absolute run at least, I feel like Diana, her mom, and all the gods speak in poems. Like everything they say to each other feels so eloquently and beautifully worded, dude. Her speech she gave on live TV before she boxed the Tetracide is like the perfect showcase of Diana as a character too. She went on live TV to warn everybody she was casting a citywide deafening spell to protect everyone, and the whole purpose of the speech was to de-escalate and keep everybody calm and cool. She ended the speech by saying Wonder Woman believes in you, and I don't know why, but that's just so perfect, dog. Like that's just such a beautiful, like, look bruh, everything's gonna be okay ass speech, bruh. Whereas absolute Batman went on live and looked Bane dead in his eyes and said,
"You went live and said you pop me. You don't pop me."
Wonder Woman's probably the most capable fighter and warrior in all of DC Comics, yet her greatest strength is her kindness and her capacity to feel so deeply for others. That's so beautiful! Seeing her team up with absolute Batman was so heartwarming too, because you can genuinely tell Bruce desperately needs that beam of shining hope and optimism that Diana radiates. Also, absolute Zatanna seems to be the next villain Wonder Woman's gonna face. Zatanna being a villain is gonna be interesting. Not used to that, unless she usually starts out as a villain, but I don't think so. Question mark. Her design is interesting. She looks really cool. But Zatanna is gonna be a very fun character for Diana to go up against because this version of Wonder Woman is like an actual sorcerer witch who uses magic, and that's Zatanna's whole thing is magic. And look, bro, you not gonna out magic Zatanna. Even if Cersei raised you, you not gonna out magic Zatanna. That's her whole shit. So that's gonna be fun to see how they box, how they banter, how they go up against each other. That's gonna be really interesting. But yeah, shout out Wonder Woman and shout out you.
I can't feel my face right now. I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down. Like, got this feeling that I won't come down. Like, got this feeling that I won't come down.